Hey there, I'm Marty Boardman with Fix and Flip Hub, and my business partner Manny Romero and I, we fix and flip houses in Phoenix, Arizona and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And in this video today, I want to show you how we get home buyers to pay 20 to 30% above market value or appraised value for our fix and flip projects. Okay, so I'm going to actually give you a real case study here right now. Let me show you this on the screen. This property was on the multiple listing service. It's located in Wisconsin where we fix and flip houses. And you'll see the two red arrows here. The red arrow on the top is the list price of the home. Again, we bought this off the multiple listing service. It was a bank-owned property. And the arrow on the right, that's the tax records for the home. We actually ended up buying it for $67,000. There were multiple offers on this property, so we ended up having to spend $2,000 above what the bank was asking for the home to lock this property up. It's a very kind of standard home in West Dallas, Wisconsin, which is just west of downtown Milwaukee. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, about 1,000 square feet, a little over 1,000 square feet. So we bought the property, closed on the property for $67,000. And here's the comp analysis, or the market analysis we did when we purchased the property. The red arrow there, again, that signifies the location of our house. Those blue dots you see there are the comps, right? The 4 comps that we found. And you can see those comps range from $122,000 up to $137,000. The two top comps, the 134 and 137, those were fully remodeled homes like ours is going to be when it's done, or was when it was done. So we figured on the high side about $130,000 to $135,000. And again, all 4 of these comps, they're 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom homes, and they're all located within a half a mile to a mile of our property. So we felt really good about an after repair value or an appraised value of $130,000 to $135,000. So we did our standard rehab to the property. Again, it's bank owned. And it was in actually fairly good condition. It had new windows, a newer roof. It just needed exterior paint and some landscaping cleanup. And we also had to replace all the light fixtures. We upgraded the plumbing and the electrical systems. And then, of course, we completely remodeled the kitchen. You can see the before and after photos here. The kitchen on the right, when we completed it, we put in a 12 by 24 inch tile, new cabinets, countertops, light fixtures. So we really cleaned the house up. It was a fairly, like I said, standard basic rehab for us. And we spent about $45,000 on that. Now, again, just to remind you, the highest comp we could find was $137,000. So we figured about $135,000 to $137,000 is what we could sell it for once we put it on the multiple listing service. So here's what those numbers look like. If after repair value or appraised value, so $135,000. Of course, we paid $67,000 for it, spent $45,000 on the rehab, and if you back out our holding costs and commissions, right, we would net $16,000 in profit. Now that's nothing too exciting, right? It's not horrible, but $16,000 is a pretty skinny profit margin for a fix and flip project. So we instead did something different. We did what we call a turnkey fix and flip. So what's a turnkey fix and flip? Well, rather than finishing the house and putting it on the multiple listing service and hoping and praying that a retail buyer is going to come along, we actually rented the house out. We found a tenant for the property who signed a 12-month lease for $1,500 a month. Then we found an investor buyer that was looking for a property, out-of-state investor buyer who was looking for a turnkey rental, a house that they could purchase with a tenant already in place, paying rent, and a house that was fully remodeled so they wouldn't have to worry about any big ticket repair items for at least 5 to 7 years. And of course, we completely redid this house, had a new furnace, has newer windows, a newer roof, right? So there's really no big ticket expenses that were going to come up for this investor buyer. So this investor buyer actually felt very good about paying us above market value, actually paying us a premium for this house because it was already cash flowing. So really what I had done, or what we had done, is created cash flow for our investor buyer And see, investor buyers, here's a little secret, they care a lot more about cash flow than how much the property is worth today. Because investor buyers typically are looking to hang on to a house for 7, 10, 15 years. So if they pay even 20 to 30% above market value for a house, appreciation is going to catch up for them pretty quickly. All right, so here's kind of side by side what those numbers look like. The traditional fix and flip, we could have sold, hopefully sold on a good day for $135,000. We were in at $16,000 in profit. Again, not horrible, but not anything to get really excited about. We sold this house to an investor buyer out of state for $164,500. So pretty much the same numbers, $67,000 for the purchase and then $45,000 for the rehab, $7,000 for holding costs and commissions. We actually net $45,500 in profit on this house. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how in the hell or why in the hell would somebody pay that much more above almost $30,000 above after repair value or appraised value for a house? Well, here's why. Here's kind of how the numbers play out for the investor buyer. With the house cash flowing $1,500 per month in rent, that's $18,000 per year in gross income. So if you take the $18,000 annual income and you subtract out the property taxes and the property management costs and just basic maintenance on the house. Again, the house is like brand new, so there really aren't going to be a lot of maintenance costs. That equals $13,300 in annual net operating income. That's an 8% annualized return, or in the commercial real estate space, we call that an 8 net cap. That's phenomenal. I don't know if you follow what's going on in the stock market right now, but it's not doing all that well. So here you have an investment property that's going up in value every year and is returning 8% net. And of course, if you know anything about rental properties, you know you can depreciate them over 27 and a half years. So your actual return on investment is even a little better because you get a little bit of a tax break. So it could be close to 9-10%, right? So this is why, and this is how we're finding or are selling our properties for above retail value, because we're turning them into assets or cash flow producing investments. And investor buyers typically are willing to pay based on how much income the asset generates, not how much some appraiser or somebody in a neighborhood, a realtor, says the house is worth. Pretty sweet, right? So again, here are kind of the numbers to look at again. You know, what would you rather have? Would you rather have $16,000 in net profit or $45,000 in net profit? And here's one cool little additional revenue stream we've created by doing the turnkey fix and flip model. We started our own property management company in Wisconsin, and we charge 10% of the monthly rent to manage these properties for our out-of-state investor buyers. So the rent that this investor buyer is getting is about $1,500 a month. We get $150 a month in additional property management fees. So that's an additional revenue stream for us. So pretty sweet, right? So how do you find investor buyers in your market? Well, Manny and I were actually doing a webinar right now. It's called How to Find Highly Profitable Fix and Flip Deals No One Else is Buying in Your Real Estate Market. And in this webinar, we explain step by step how to build a pool of investor buyers for your turnkey fix and flip projects. Now, if you live in a market where home prices are really high and rents are really low, yeah, this strategy may not work for you. But in this webinar, we also explain how you can create this business model in other real estate markets near you. This is what we do. I mean, we live in Phoenix and we're able to do this in Milwaukee. So in this webinar, we explain that as well. So click on the button below there to check out the webinar, How to Find Highly Profitable Fix and Flip Deals No One Else is Buying in Your Real Estate Market. Click on the link below, get signed up for that webinar, and we'll see you on the training. Thanks for watching.